No news this week. Let's talk some spookiness. Ooh.
Yay!
Yay.
Power
Uh,
to be spooky.
which one do you want to talk about first?
I watched them in reverse order, I suppose. Like
Yeah.
Zeo, then Mighty Morphin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's do Zeo then Mighty Morphin, since Mighty Morphin has a more overt Halloween theme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
And I liked the Zeo one better.
Zeo is
Sorry,
really
I'm
good.
just saying that now.
yeah, no, I think the Zeo one was fantastic.
Yeah.
Episode 23, I believe, it came from Angel Grove.
Yes.
You want to, Caitlin, give us the plot points. How we start off?
So it came from Angel Grove. It starts out with Adam.
Yep.
Yeah, Adam. He and Tanya.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm slowly getting the names down.
Yeah.
They're in the library and they're studying, and Tanya decides that she's gonna go home. And
It's late, apparently.
It's
really
late.
late. It's
What
8
time was it?
p.m.
It's 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 8 p.m. When she said it was late, I was like, oh, it must be like 10 or 11, and it's like 8 p.m.
Well, of course, because they have to have like a responsibility about a good proper bedtime.
Right?
Yeah. Well, it's 8 p.m.
So-
high school time. I feel like that's
High
pretty
school
late.
time. Yeah, that's pretty late to be at school.
And they're just allowed to hang out at school. I thought that
Yeah.
was weird.
And Bulk and Skull are like the security guards
Who are afraid of a werewolf.
who are too scared to walk home. The gentleman offered to walk her home, but in reality, they just want her to walk them home.
I thought that was a good bit.
Me too.
Yeah.
I love them. I love Bulk and Skull. And so then Adam is, studying. An hour passes, and he decides to take a break, this is a mistake. If anyone has ever tried to pull an all-nighter, this is a mistake.
I thought he took a. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I thought he took a break at like 11 or something.
Yeah.
Like I remember like thinking that like hours and hours passed.
I think.
Well, I thought that was when he fell asleep.
Well,
the clock goes,
Yeah.
and then there's a storm brewing. There's a storm brewing because
lightning.
It sets the mood, and then he wants to check out the TV for updates on the storm,
but then decides to watch a movie.
Well,
decides to watch a movie.
I like how it's not like in TV and movies when they're like, let's check the news, and then they turn on the TV and it's already on the news and it's already on and they're talking about exactly what they want to hear.
Yeah,
I kind of liked that for a minute. It was realistic, and he turns it on. And it's like, oh, monster movie. I'm getting.
I'll
I'm
just watch this instead.
Yeah.
And that is his mistake. He gets distracted.
Yeah.
And he changes the pillows on the couch and gets comfortable, and he falls asleep.
I want to go to this school where you can hang out and study until 11 and then fall asleep on the couch watching TV. Like
no one bothers you.
Yeah, no one bothers you. There's no one there.
Yeah, the librarian's like, all right, Adam's and Tanya, they're the good kids. Lock up.
They'll be fine. They'll lock up afterwards. Give them a key to the school.
But why even have a TV in the rec room for a high school anyway?
I didn't have a TV in mine.
No, I that's a movie thing.
Yeah. And it's not even a library. It's like a room with a bookshelf.
Right.
It's more like I thought they were in someone's living room until I realized that they were still at school.
That's like their lounge, though. They're always chilling there. It's like their little study spot.
I feel like I missed out on things in high school, and that being just hanging out in a lounge where no one else is.
Yeah. There's always there's never a space that doesn't have a bunch of people.
Right. So so he falls asleep and he's watching this black and white monster movie, and he goes, "Oh, it's my favorite." Falls asleep. And now it's like the middle of the night, and he wakes up, and because a black cat shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, come back here, kitty, kitty, kitty." He chases
the cat.
Right? And how did the cat get in? I'd be more worried about how it got into the school. But then, surprise, Rita and Zed show up.
Yeah.
What was the name of the movie? The Bride of
Bride of Hankel.
Yeah, it was like Hankel Sack or something.
Yeah. It was like almost dirty.
I thought it was Hankelstein though. I thought it was like.
No, I just rewatched it. It ends in sack.
Really? Oh, weird. Yeah. Well, anyway, the movie he was watching I thought was pretty classic looking. Like And I really like their choice of making it black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. That was and I thought that was an interesting pick to be Adam's favorite movie was a black and white horror film.
He likes classic horror movies.
He likes the classics and leave it to Adam.
Yeah. But then Rita, like you said, Rita and Zed show up in the school.
Uh-huh.
What did they say? Did they say like
they said
while you were asleep, the Empire, like the Machine Empire,
took over the world. And
and he goes, well, where's my little
morpher.
What's it called? The morpher. And they were like, don't worry about that.
Zeonizer.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but that seemed a little sus. A little suspicious.
I really liked how right out of the gate, it seems like obviously a dream because it seems like something that Adam would have a nightmare about. You know, like he walks into another room and it's like Rita and Zed on the staircase in a high school and they're like, the Machine Empire took over the world while you were sleeping. No! All your friends are kidnapped if you don't collect a vampire's cape and a hair of a werewolf and a mummy's bandages and a cat's eye and give it in exchange for a wizard. And it's like that is like but Adam's like, this is my duty as a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
You know, and I love that because it doesn't necessarily seem too out of left field for them, but it does seem like something he would have a nightmare about.
Yeah, and it was very on par with the movie he was just watching.
Yeah.
At first I didn't think it was a dream. I was like, oh no, like what's gonna happen? Like I thought they were gonna like kidnap him or something.
Yeah.
And like the rest of the Power Rangers were gonna have to save him. But then when they started talking about the Machine Empire like took over, I went, I feel like you would have woken up for that.
Yeah.
No, at this point I was still like, is this a dream or not? Because I don't know. The Machine Empire I feel like shoots up buildings every other episode.
I knew it was a dream. I mean, it's a Halloween episode. I mean, Rita and Zed on the staircase of the school gave it away. I mean, the fact that it was all up to Adam kind of made me realize it was a dream, if that made any sense, you know?
Yeah, totally.
But the very next scene, he walks into the juice bar. It's black and white. And then it's like full dream. It's the juice bar is a vampire juice bar now.
Yeah, I think it's like a vampire bar.
It's like it doesn't even really look like the juice bar. They did a really good job.
Yes,
look like a vampire.
I didn't even know it was the juice bar until you said it was the juice bar.
And then you see Ernie, you know, and he's like this like zombified out bartender. I love serving up his own blood.
I love Tommy's name, Temacula.
Oh my god, I love that. I like Adam.
They just had way too much fun.
Yeah.
He couldn't even believe it. Temacula.
Yeah.
What?
Temacula.
What do you think of his accent?
I thought he did a really good job.
Yeah.
Like if he were, it almost made me feel like I was watching Boo at the Zoo, and he was like trying really hard, Doug.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, we had a thing called Boo at the Zoo. It just made me think it was one of those scenes where they were trying really hard to pull the Dracula voice.
I thought that they all had that vibe, you know, like Rocky's British accent and Billy's like scientist accent. Or whatever you want to call it.
And Lieutenant Stone's like German accent.
Oh, and then what about Skull's like weird?
Skull was the best.
With his tongue. He was like,
I thought they were all good though in their own kind of like.
I thought they really pulled the characters together, even though it was a dream.
Like they sounded like caricatures, but they pulled it off. Like it wasn't like I was really impressed with Rocky too, because it's like it wasn't really a British accent, but he nailed the like faux British accent. He reminded me of the cat. It was almost
Cockney.
It's like the what's the name of the cat in Hocus Pocus?
I just watched this movie.
I don't know.
It starts with a B.
Well,
Google it.
Well,
it doesn't start with a B.
Yeah.
His voice is totally like the vibes I was getting from Rocky, where it was like, oh, is that British? Like, I don't know.
It's like, it's an American trying to be British.
Yeah, it's like, I guess it's old colonial, you know?
Yeah. Victorian,
Binks.
Binks. See, I said it started with a B. Binks.
Yeah. And
Binksy.
So anyway, that's I'm getting ahead of myself though. So he's in the vampire bar.
But those are the characters that everyone has now become. But you don't realize it's a dream yet.
I mean, come on.
You can.
I mean,
you can. But he doesn't. Okay.
He doesn't
Adam
know.
doesn't realize it's a dream. I don't know how he doesn't realize it's a dream.
Well, when
Because
you're Inception rules, when you're in a dream, you don't know it's a dream.
But
That's
also, Rita and Zed did say that the Machine Empire turned his friends into monsters. There was like a throwaway
into
line
things
like
that he wouldn't into monsters he wouldn't recognize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he gets when he has to get Tommy's cape because he's a vampire, and he does. He fights some putties or whatever they're called. The cogs. And I really like the part when the suit of armor turned into the cog. I thought that was really cool.
Oh yeah, that was really neat.
And that was a quick little fight scene. But I did like the magically appearing rope.
Yeah.
When Rocky showed up and rescued him, and he was dressed like a I don't know,
British fellow,
pilgrim or something. Yeah, or something. I thought that he was going to end up being like Van Helsing or something, But I love of course they made him the werewolf. I thought that was really cool.
I liked how. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah. So he gets to Rocky, and then the wolves start howling, and then Rocky's like, "There's a werewolf out tonight," and then they run away from real wolves.
I was like, how'd you know they were real wolves and not werewolves? It's like, because I'm a werewolf.
Because I'm the werewolf.
That was so funny.
Yeah. So they have a chase scene with a bunch of wolves, and then he runs into Lieutenant Stone, who is just like he's like a hound. He has a hound dog. And he's, He
calls himself something, but I don't remember.
I don't remember Stone's bit.
He was like some German guy, but he almost looked like he was hunting the werewolf.
Yeah, he's like a classic guy in a horror movie who's like scouring the woods with dogs, warning people of monsters and things like that.
Yeah. And then he was like, "Why are you in the woods in the middle of the night?"
Yeah.
Like, why are you in the woods in the middle of the night, Lieutenant Stone?
Yeah.
And then he casually gives him a friend that might be able to help, and sends him on his merry way to find a scientist. Was it the scientist?
Yeah, he says a professor just came into town.
Yeah.
And Adam's like, oh, that has to be Billy. It really at this point, I was impressed with the production value because it really captured a horror movie, like a classic black and white horror movie vibe. And there were a lot of tropes present. And even though you might think oh, this isn't a movie that would exist because it has all of the monsters in it. But there were so many like that. There's so many movies where they were trying to work it all into one. I could totally imagine it existing, especially in this way of I was like, oh, the Mummy is going to be so bullshit. Oh, sorry. Excuse my language. But then it was oh, the professor is studying the Mummy, and he brought it to town with him, and I was like, I gotta give it to you, Power Rangers. That tracks.
And they didn't
that's
make
solid.
They didn't make it weird. They didn't make it corny or overdone. It was a solid production.
It was a solid parody.
I would watch it again. Yeah, that's what it was. It was a parody of all the favorite horror tropes. As a horror fan, I actually really appreciated it.
It still managed to feel like a Power Rangers episode at the same time. So it was really it was doing a lot at once.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Skull, of course, I love that when it's revealed he's the professor. He's so funny.
And because he thinks it's Billy, and then Skull turns around and he's like, "Come with me."
I can't even remember anything.
But then he's like, I got this mummy, and then Adam's like, well, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Don't. He's like, but I've been practicing the incantations, my pronunciations. Yeah, I thought that was really funny.
What I thought was funny was Skull was Bulk was a mummy in both episodes.
Yes.
Yeah, he was. That's his legacy. He
gets the same gag. He gets the mummy twirl where
they can't help themselves.
Yeah.
No one would have recognized that unless you watched both of them back to back.
Yeah.
the joke with I want my mummy. Oh man,
that was funny.
This is all good.
They're really good. Before rewatching all these episodes on this podcast, I don't think I realized how good Bulk and Skull were. Because
I love them. I miss them. Like in all the shows that we've been watching recently, I've been missing them.
It's easy as a kid to think they're just getting in the way of more Power Rangers,
Yes.
But they're really funny.
Yeah.
I think that was my thing as a kid. I was just like, well, let's get to the Power Ranger bit.
Oh, why are these annoying people here? But like as an adult, you're like, no, give me more Bulk and Skull. I do have to say, I didn't mention it, but back in the vampire lair, Adam like backing up from Tommy, and instead of just going down the stairs, he looks back at the stairs and then does a backflip.
I wrote that down too. I forgot.
I forgot that too.
Just use the stairs.
Yeah. It's like, well, you can't forget these are Power Rangers. It's a dream, so you might as well backflip, right?
Right. I thought that was funny. It wasn't like he even just like went backwards and then did a backflip. He looked back, saw the stairs, looked back at Tommy, and just says, "I'm gonna go a backflip." Backflip. That was it was one of my notes that I wrote that I just found really funny.
Yeah.
No, that was a good joke.
I remember actually listening to a panel where both Adam and Tommy, Jason David Frank, and Johnny Bosch, who plays Adam, because they do stunts all the time, and that's like Adam's like signature move. I guess it's called like a butterfly flip, where it's like you twist sideways.
That's cool.
Yeah, and Tommy was just joking that he did that like any chance he could, and it's like there you go.
You're like, is there a blank spot in this script? Can I do a butterfly?
Yeah.
We should just go and count how many times he does butterfly flips.
I'm sure it's like every time putties show up.
We could totally. I bet there already is a compilation online.
Right.
Yeah.
Every butterfly flip ever.
Yeah. Adam compilation. Yeah.
But you're right. That he pulls it off really cool.
He does. Yeah. It looks amazing. I'm not saying it's not like I could do a backflip down 4 stairs, but I'm just saying like a normal person would just go down the stairs.
It was a little extra. Yeah.
Adam.
Who does he meet after that?
After that, he meets
Billy, right?
Billy. So he goes to meet the real Frankenstein scientist.
And Tanya is basically the bride of.
She killed it.
Yes.
Oh my god.
He totally did.
Her Frankenstein was stellar. I loved it. Yeah.
Her like crazy eyes were so good.
Her makeup looked great. I thought the two of them were probably my favorite.
They were really good.
Costume wise.
What about Alpha?
As Igor.
With his eyes.
Yeah. Alpha was one of my. I wrote a note about.
Yeah.
How
he had 4 eyeballs. For what?
Yes, master.
He was so funny.
Well, Igor.
Whoever put this together did a really good job, because you would think you'd put Alpha like in the Zordon bit, but
no, it's pre-Zordon.
Yeah.
Or should we say Zordonicus?
I did kind of like the Wizard of Oz vibes that later on, because it is a dream. But the best though is after it was super weird how we can talk over how weird it was when Adam like turns away and then the Tesla coil in the lab just annihilates the 3 of them. It disintegrates Tanya, Billy, and Alpha.
No one talks about it.
And then just like, and you see their skeletons. Like it's straight up like it looked really cool, but I was like, okay, they're all dead, I guess. That's really
but they're not dead because now they're in capsules. It's a very alien vibe.
Well, but maybe like, I guess I don't know. Maybe it's not the same people. I mean, it's a dream, so there's no real logic to it.
You can't. It's like what you were saying that Spider-Man is in Santa Barbara.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Those are what my dreams are like. Yeah, like I have nowhere to swing.
Yeah. So sometimes there's no sense to a dream.
Yeah.
I did like though that the cat that Adams had to follow the whole episode ends up being.
Oh yeah, his cat.
That I didn't even. I felt so stupid for not seeing that coming at the very end. I'm like, oh, of course.
I was like, where is Cat?
He hadn't showed up yet. I'm like, oh, she's going to be the cat. Yeah.
Well, she's a cat, but then she's the witch, and then she melts from something.
Adam, like Karate Kid, grabs her cat pendant off of.
The amulet.
Yes.
I love that he's just like, "Oh, the amulet. I need that. It's the cat's eye. Yeah." And she's like, "No!" Like, I'm mounted. It's like the only person that can defeat a witch is a ninja. You know,
Right?
it's like just lightning reflexes. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much Wizard of Oz vibes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then speaking of that, gets to Zordon, and he's like, "No, I'm Zordonicus."
The great
Yeah.
Zordonicus. Yeah.
With the
I
fire
love
that
the
rises too.
Yeah. I love the name.
The best part too is like he's like, "Oh, like you must pick a friend to battle Drillzor or whatever his name is."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I can't do that." It's like, "Well, then I can't help you." And like you're like I thought it was really funny that there was no like, "Well, then you can fight in his stead." It's just straight up like no, choose.
And he's just talking to himself, and he goes, "Well, Tommy could do it," and then
Yeah,
he goes, "Tommy, it is."
No, he says, "Man, what would Tommy do?"
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, Tommy, great choice.
Yeah.
I really like that it was their excuse for this like this little bit of Sentai footage because there's no Sentai footage. But then the fact that they like worked it in a little bit where he's like, "Oh, where am I? Whoa." I loved it so much. I was like, okay, this episode ticks all the boxes. Like I can't say it did. There it is. Like, okay, a little bit of Sentai footage. You know?
Yeah. And at that point, I almost started second guessing that it was a dream. And I was like, maybe like the machines really did just take from this movie because of the way that Tommy responds to like, "Oh, where am I?"
Yeah.
And that was, I for a second, I was second guessing the dream concept.
It really reminded me of the episode we watched last week, the Ninja Steel episode, because it was like this vintage excuse. You know, it's like the vintage equivalent of it, of like, oh, we have to figure out a reason why we can just shoehorn a random fight from Sentai into our Halloween footage.
Yeah.
And they did.
But it was a good footage. It didn't go on for too long.
No, it was
great.
It was a good fight. Yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah.
He used all his weapons.
This is Adam's dream. So Tommy's just like taking down this monster.
He's like, "Yeah, go Tommy."
Yeah. Why don't you dream about it being you, Adam?
Right.
I guess that's why it's a
lot
nightmare.
about Adam, actually.
Yeah. It's a bad dream. I mean, it's not a good dream.
But the fight was cool. You got to give it to those Sentai footages though. Like Tommy's getting thrown everywhere, and it looks so cool.
Yeah,
it does look cool.
Yeah.
He just gets pushed back and he goes like what looks like 40 feet into a mountain.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they really took advantage of like being able to just pluck a random fight that needed no context, you know?
Totally.
We can just pick a good one.
Yeah.
And then I think that's it. Then he kind of wakes up afterwards.
Well, he wakes up because Zordonicus is like, "Well, I'm actually the Machine Empire, and
that was it.
I'm gonna get you." And then all the Korgs pile up on him, and he's like, "No."
Yeah.
And then he wakes up.
and then everyone shows up to school, and it's suddenly daytime. So he basically, no parents were worried that he didn't come home.
No.
The school wasn't like disturbed that one of their children was like in the library.
And the school didn't wake him up when in the morning. They're like, "Oh, his friends will."
Yeah, his friends will show up eventually.
Yeah. And it's like, I did. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, and then the cat shows up again.
And then Bulk and Skull try and catch the cat. Yeah.
Because they've been trying to catch the cat
I gotta
forever.
get the cat. And then that's it.
I did check just to see if like Tanya's wearing a different shirt. So I wondered if they'd just like, "Oh yeah, just go back into the scene." But they gave her a new shirt because it's a different day, which I'm like, cool, because I feel like sometimes Power Rangers wouldn't do that.
Continue like some I lost the word, but
just
some
give her like.
Yeah.
Oh, they'd be like, they don't care
continuity.
About the
continuity.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, I was almost there.
I loved the black and white. Loved all the monster details they did.
Great episode. Yeah.
Great episode.
I can't recommend it enough. I mean, I feel like it's almost like something I'd recommend if you just like watching Halloween episodes of things, even if you don't like Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Because it's really entertaining.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was my favorite. Total thumbs up.
Yeah. I give this a Dino Charge out of Dino Charge Rangers.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I thought it was great. Next episode.
Wait, before we go into the next episode, I need to put my charger on.
Okay.
Do do do.
I know.
Okay, I'm back. I didn't realize my laptop was so low.
All right.
You good?
I know.
Okay.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah. Next episode, Mighty Morphin, episode 54, I think.
Pretty
Yeah,
late in the season.
53,
Of
54.
60. Yeah.
I can't believe the earlier seasons. Oh man, 60 episodes.
Yeah, that's a
I
lot.
know.
There's,
Why even call it one season?
no, there's 2 Halloween episodes in this season.
That's how many there are. Yeah.
That means they went a full year.
Wow, that's a
Wow.
lot. Well, that was like the 90s though. They didn't do all of these like 13 per season. They were like, throw in as much as you can.
Power Rangers was so like uncharted waters. I'm sure they just didn't even care. It's
They're
Yeah.
just trying them out. Yeah.
They probably didn't expect it to become as popular as it was. They were like, well, we'll just try this.
Yeah. At this point, they just had to keep it going.
Yeah.
Well, when you listen to like panels again of the original Rangers, they're like, I'm barely glad I know as much as I do, because when you're at the park for a day, you're filming like 3 different episodes that all take place in the park, like,
Right.
so you have like no idea what's going where.
Yeah.
Wow. So you could just totally that's why some of their performances must feel so weird, because it's like, oh, I don't really know what I'm supposed to. I don't know what happened yesterday, or I don't know what happened in the scene
Yeah.
before this.
They're just follow the script.
Yeah, they're probably doing like 2 days worth of just school like locker room scenes.
Where did they film? Like, where did they film most of these?
It's
California.
Burbank.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because it looks like it's always the same park.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They just go to the same park every day.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said the newer ones all like most of them take place in like or film in New Zealand because it's cheaper now.
Oh, nice.
But
Yeah, they've been filming there for a while.
Yeah,
for
but
15 years.
Yeah, for a long time.
Oh, next time I go to New Zealand, I'm gonna have to find out where, because we sail there all the time.
Yeah.
There you go.
But
just take a selfie with my new little doll. I'll be like, yay!
Yeah. Go find us some Rangers. Get an interview.
Right.
That's what I've said previously, because we live, near Burbank, and it's like almost every park here looks like every park that they filmed.
Yeah. They probably did. They were like, where could we film today?
Yeah. But yeah, episode 54, Trick or Treat. I really like this one too.
Yeah,
it was okay.
It was a cute one. I mean, it was a very simple Power Rangers episode.
Mm-hmm. Very Power Rangy.
So the plot is Kimberly and Skull are going to compete on the same Halloween themed game show.
Yeah, it's the hottest. It's the hottest show on TV
in the United States.
Yeah,
that's
it's a strange game show.
Not only is it a strange game show that feels like it's in an episode of Goosebumps or something.
Yeah,
that's what I got too.
You almost think that the game show is going to be haunted or something. Or
right, or like everyone there's a ghost. But but it felt like. What I was going to say is it just felt very strange to have the #1 game show in the nation be Halloween themed, because it feels so seasonal.
Yeah.
Like, is it only the hottest show in the nation for the month of October, and it's like so hot and they just take it off the air?
Yeah. I don't know.
Or maybe like, I don't know. I don't know.
It's like a Monsters thing, just goes on.
It goes on forever.
The interesting thing about it, though, is that the show is called Trick or Treat, and the rules have nothing to do with the rules. The rules are totally nothing. Yeah. So theoretically, it could just be that they go all out because their show is called Trick or Treat during Halloween, and like they do all the Halloween decorations. But maybe it's just seasonal, like year round. It depends. Like they do summer vibes in the summer,
True.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. But it's a strange game show.
Yeah. So Kimberly's going to be on it. She tells Tommy and Trini, and she's like, "Are you going to be there?" And Tommy's like, "No, I got a martial arts tournament, like a really big one.
Important martial arts.
Yeah.
Tournament. Yeah. The only thing that would take me away from it is saving the world.
Yeah. Not the girl that I like, but karate.
Well, you could see the disappointment, and like I thought Kimberly played this really well. Her reaction was like, disappointed but understanding. You know?
Yeah, she's like, oh well, okay.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
technically, he was.
I know you
polite
have
about
one
it.
every weekend.
Yeah.
It's like that's your whole life, nothing else.
Yeah. All I do is show up to your martial arts tournaments and
Yeah.
and support. But whatever.
You know what? Kimberly could do better. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it.
Whoa.
Oh,
You think?
she said it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it.
Well, she does do better because
Yeah,
she
eventually.
leaves him. Yeah. For whoever, we don't know who it is. but
Yeah, we don't know who.
We don't know who.
Well, they're supposed to be Jason vibes, but apparently that never actually made
I'll
it
buy
into
into
the
that.
script.
I'll buy into
No,
that.
it was. You remember we talked about it in the movie?
No, that's
the-
what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
but even though it was left on the cutting room floor, I'll support
Yeah.
that.
I'll support Jason and Kimberly. Anyway, but it's not yet. We're not there yet.
Jimberly.
Yeah.
Jimberly. So they go to a game show and Tommy has a karate fight. So nothing could ever go wrong at the same time of these two events.
But
ever.
Of course, there's, some Rita business brewing.
Yeah.
But what are the rules of the game show?
So from my understanding, Kimberly's contestant 1. She's a princess.
Everyone's dressed up like
everyone's dressed up.
Like Price is Right. Don't they do that on that show?
Yeah. Skull is a
zombie prisoner.
I think he's just a prisoner.
He's a cool prisoner. He's got sunglasses on.
Yeah, and then he has his
skull version.
his prisoner number like written on his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bulk is a mummy.
Bulk's a mummy
Classic
again.
mummy. Classic toilet paper mummy.
Yep.
And then I think the Trini, I think I got like a yellow jasmine vibe from her.
Yeah, she was almost like a I Dream of Jeannie kind of.
Well, they all
Genie.
kind of looked like they were trying to match with some sort of Renaissance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe she was just doing like a fortune teller thing, you know. They all look like they were kind of trying to do the same.
Yeah, because the guys had like a different color Three Musketeer vibe.
Yeah.
So they're on
but
the
not
game
Tommy.
show. Not Tommy.
Tommy doesn't get it. Tommy doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Tommy's a karate guy for Halloween.
Yeah.
Which he is every year, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So
I'm just telling you, you could morph and be a Power Ranger, but they don't ever do it.
No.
And everyone would be impressed with the authenticity.
And you never see Power Ranger costumes during the Halloween episodes. Like no kids are running around.
Later on, you do.
We'll show you
do
one
you?
that does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next year's Halloween episode has that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the host is a vampire Dracula guy.
Yeah.
Kind of a douchebag though.
But he has no fangs.
Yeah.
He just seems like a very full of himself host, you know?
But the they have to trick him with a trick question.
With questions. And
Yeah.
if he can't answer it, then
they get a pumpkin point.
They get a point. Yeah, pumpkin point. Yeah.
And then they get like
it's only pumpkin point in October.
Yeah. And then they get the chance to win 3 more points in really bizarre
weird
like weird like Nickelodeon guts games.
Yeah. Like this would totally be a Nickelodeon game.
Or Double Dare. It was like crappy Double Dare.
Yeah.
They have to like climb a spider web that's made of rope, like a.
Well, that's what Skull has to do. What does Kim do? What
I
does
think
Kimberly do?
she gets called away before her thing, right?
She faints before her challenge.
No. She gets 3 points. She does something.
She gets 3 points for tricking him into not because she asks him to name the identity of the Power Rangers.
Yeah, but then
maybe she does. Maybe she does something else too. Right?
I could have sworn she had one. I should have written it down.
I did
She does something because she gets the point for the Power Rangers, and then that's when he explains the task, the trick task, and she has to do something.
Does she succeed at the rope?
No, she doesn't do the rope, but she does get 3 points because she's ahead of Skull.
You're right. I feel like I vaguely remember her doing something now that you bring that up. I
remember what she did.
I did like when Skull was like, "What's the name of my best friend?" And the guy's like, "What friends?" Yeah.
Right. What did she do?
Oh, I have it up now. She's on a weird like Batman 66 spin wheel, like when they're captured. Like she's on a wheel and they have to spin her around.
Oh, right. Like it's like the Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
I don't remember what she
That was it.
does.
It wasn't very memorable.
Yeah, but she does that. And then
I think she just has to spin around.
Yeah.
I think they just spin her around a bunch and then she's like, yay, I did it.
Yeah.
Well,
So.
Sorry, what were you going to say, Doug?
Oh, I was going to say, not only is our Rangers in the audience watching, Rita and the crew is also watching.
Because they've put a rotten pumpkin patch that Tommy just completely he's like, hey, Zordon, what's this? And he's like, oh, it must be Rita. Just go to your karate match. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Freaking Zordon. He shouldn't be in charge. Like ever.
No, he's never proved himself.
Yeah.
But I like the scene where Rita's like, how are my rotting pumpkins going or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like Goldar's like, don't even finish that sentence, my liege. Like I know what you need. I've already summoned the pumpkin wrapper.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to explain that the pumpkin wrapper. No, wait. That was Zordon.
Zordon's explaining the pumpkin wrapper.
When he calls them all, so they have to leave the game show because Tommy finds the pumpkin.
Which I find is so unfair.
This is before, So before this, Rita puts the pumpkins out.
Yeah.
Then Tommy's just walking in the park, probably going to his karate tournament. He's like, man, these are some gross pumpkins someone's growing. Yeah. And Rita is like, what's he doing finding my pumpkin patch?
Yeah. Why'd you put them in the random park?
Why'd you put them in the Power Ranger park?
That they go through every day. Like, not even a hit, like probably right off the pathway.
Well, I guess they want them to get attacked, maybe.
Yeah, right. That's true.
But then,
and Zordon's just like, oh, don't worry about it.
But no, that before that, Tommy gets a sweet putty fight.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He does.
Yeah, they send the putties
down. That was a good fight.
And then they just Green Ranger theme kicks in.
But they're putties with pumpkin heads.
What's the last line of the Green Ranger song? Does he go, Goldar's gonna get you or something?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't remember
Green Ranger, go.
Green Ranger, go.
Yeah. That is definitely.
It was a solid fight scene though. That I do remember that now. I thought that happened later, but that is a very solid fight scene.
I know.
Lots of kicking and flipping and jumping.
How's Tommy like not brainwashed every kid like me to like him when like the other Rangers are just at this, weird game show. And then it cuts back and forth between this theme song and Tommy beating up putties all by himself.
Yeah.
He always got that luck, like the scales tipped in his favor in terms of like fights and like being one-on-one and being the strongest and stuff.
Even when he's evil and he's fighting the Rangers, they still play the Go Green Ranger song.
Yeah. You can't defeat the Green Ranger. Even the theme song says it.
He gets his own theme song.
Yeah.
None of the other Rangers get a theme song.
No, only Tommy.
And then he becomes the White Ranger and he gets a theme song again.
Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is Tommy is special.
Well, they market him that way.
Yeah.
But Jason he got his own theme song when he became the Gold Ranger.
Oh, right.
So if you're a special ranger, you get a theme song.
Yeah.
Pretty much you get all the special treatment. Yeah.
Lame.
Quick
as lightning, fast as steel, Gold Ranger.
Yeah, that's a pretty great theme song.
It is a good one. He beats up the putties. He has no problem. He's just like, that was easy.
I'm out.
But he's got to warn Zordon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes to Zordon, and then this is where, Caitlin, you have an issue with Zordon.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, yeah, Rita's up to something, but don't worry about it. Go to karate.
The pumpkins aren't ripe yet.
Yeah.
It's just like, if you think something's going to happen, get rid of the pumpkins.
Yeah. Instead of saying go to the pumpkin, he'd be like, before you go, can you just karate chop some of those pumpkins?
Yeah, get a flamethrower and just demolish them.
Can you just have the Dragon Zord step on it for me?
Yeah.
The Power Ranger episodes would be so quickly done and over with because the bad guys would they would have to not allow their stuff to be found so easily.
Yeah. And then there's probably, if that happened, he morphs and just starts destroying the pumpkins. They'd be like, the Green Ranger's gone evil again. He's destroying pumpkins.
Halloween is ruined.
Yeah.
This just in on CNN. The Green Ranger has gone.
Yeah, this is the worst betrayal yet. The one-man war against Halloween.
Green Ranger ruins Halloween again.
Yeah.
But then he tells him to go to his thing.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to call the other Rangers, even though they're really preoccupied with the thing.
I mean, and this is what gets me mad. Kimberly could have stayed. Like,
but
others could have handled it.
That's always their duty, though. Everyone leaves. Everyone dips, you know.
If I was the Pink Ranger and I was about to win a car, I'd be like, I'll catch up with you guys later.
I forgot it. Yeah, we haven't mentioned that it's a car. That's a big deal.
They're winning a car. It's not just like
a Mustang
being on
we
TV.
find out.
Yeah. So I was a little annoyed by that. I was like, poor Kim. Like, she finally gets something.
Yeah.
And she's taken away.
That was pretty sad. We never even really see the game show much after that, you know.
No. Well, that they kind of say she disqualified, and then
faints.
Everyone leaves.
Yeah.
The fight against the pumpkins in the pumpkin patch was really good. Oh, but wait, I love the line though when they get to the command center and Zordon's like, the pumpkin rapper will try to defeat you with his funky fresh rhymes and his like, and I was like, wait a minute.
I'm glad you guys warned me that he was a pumpkin that raps, because it made me giggle, but I feel like I would have been very confused the first time.
He's super silly. I almost feel like the rapping is too much. It's like he couldn't have just been a pumpkin monster. He had to rap.
He has to be a rap.
He talks in rhymes, and but I love when they get to the pumpkin patch and they all get their heads sucked, like attacked by the pumpkin.
Yeah. So confusing.
Kimberly has to cut all the pumpkins off. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, they're like literally suffocating.
Yeah.
Being pumpkins.
Yes.
But I love the way that they're trying to get them off each other before, like, because Kimberly is distracted because she's mad that she didn't get a car. Well, she's not, but I just think she is. And so I love that they're like, they've paired off and like they're trying to get the pumpkins off each other, and like the Blue Ranger has his foot on the Yellow Ranger, is like trying to pull the pumpkin off. It was so funny.
Yeah.
It's funny because like in the Sentai, she's the only girl, so it's sort of like played.
Yes, I was about to ask that. The Yellow, even though it's voiced by Trini, it's a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the
very
Sentai,
much a guy,
it's a
man.
guy.
Yeah.
But it makes the scene sort of funnier when you think about them trying to do a scene where all the men just are like, they are all like being silly or whatever, and she has to save them. Like, and it feels like something you would see in an anime, you know?
Oh, totally.
So I was like,
the girls always have to save the guys in the animes.
Yeah, it felt like a very Sentai vibe, you know. I totally, I like thinking about like the Blue Ranger trying to like use his foot to get the Yellow Ranger's helmet off.
That was just made me laugh.
Yeah. And then one of them does punch it and like hurts their hand.
Yeah. I like though that like she just has to cut off Jason's and then the other ones explode too. They must be all connected.
Yeah.
And
then they finally get the pumpkins off each other, and they find the big pumpkin, and they're like, let's just see if we can do a bad rap together. And they become like the Beastie Boys, and like each throws a line.
That was awesome. I love that part. I wish I remember what they said, but it was
I
great.
don't remember. But it was great.
Pumpkin rapper, I didn't know.
He sounds 90s.
Yeah, he does. I like, he's like, oh, those rhymes were whack.
They're whackety whack.
Their fight was cool. I like his like tentacle thing. I thought that was cool. I feel like he would be a much better monster villain without the rapping. If he rhymed in like a creepy way, that might be cool.
Like, if he was like spooky.
Yeah, if he was spooky and talked in rhyme, I think there's something about that that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But certainly it felt really silly. But I think it's because we're of the generation that remembers like what it was like to feel like we were being pandered to with something like rap in a kid's show, you know?
Yeah, totally.
The youth is into, because it's such a stereotype, you know, of that.
And
but go ahead.
Zordon is just like, I was wrong, Tommy. We need you. Come back.
Yeah. Please,
just
Tommy.
as he gets announced for his karate, and it was so sad. So both Kim and Tommy don't get to do their thing, all because Zordon can't
he has
you
bad
know,
like
he has
time
bad
management on
timing.
this.
You know what? It's
He's
a
a bad
metaphor.
leader.
That's their responsibility as Rangers. You know,
Okay, well, that doesn't change the fact that this would have been fixed if he had just had Tommy like fire blow all of the pumpkins, and then everything
Fair
would have
enough.
been fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Tommy shows up, no karate for him, and I
Just
did have a
whoops
question.
more butt, right? Doesn't he come in and just kick all the pumpkin guys?
Yeah, he does. He's
Yeah,
like, I'm here now.
Yeah, he wrecks everybody.
Does he?
Don't worry,
is he
guys.
the only one that gets the chest plate?
Yeah, that's what makes him the 6th Ranger.
Yeah.
So he's fancy because of the chest plate.
I did like his
sometimes he gives it to other people though.
Oh, okay.
He does something right away where they're basically like very dependent on him. Like,
they're wrapped in and they're being like electrocuted, and then he comes and like chops the vine off.
And I liked we got to see the, what do they call it? The power blaster?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always like the power blaster.
Neat.
Yeah. So
I don't know why they didn't just, get that over with the first time.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have Tommy to hold the pumpkin wrapper.
And normally,
right.
normally that's just stage 1 before a Megazord fight. So I was surprised to see the fight just end. I was like, oh, I thought they were going to fight a giant pumpkin wrapper.
No, not this time around. It's not during a Halloween special.
Yeah.
They just wrecked him. Yeah.
Yep.
Tommy holds him like Piccolo and like
yeah, and rabbits. Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Except Tommy's like, no, I'm not getting blasted by this thing.
Yeah. Oh, I'm wearing my Dragon Ball Z shirt right now.
Oh wow.
Nice. You can't see. You can't see. That's the gold hair of a Goku.
Nice. So then the pumpkin wrapper gets blown up. I did write down, like, even though the pumpkin wrapper is so ridiculous, I'm like, man, they don't make the monsters like they used to.
He's super cool looking. Definitely.
It's not so CGI anymore.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, I don't know. I feel like in the more recent ones, they're a little bit more, well, I guess it's still some of the Sentai footage is like, puppeteering and actual.
But they do.
I feel like it changes the way it's filmed.
They definitely use more CGI in later seasons.
Yeah.
And in this, it's like those are people in those costumes.
Yeah. There's a charm.
And I think that's what I mean. Is like you can't always tell anymore. Is that CGI? Is that a person in a costume? Is it a person in a green suit? And I feel like it almost it takes you back to that authentic kind of TV that we grew up on.
Yeah.
Well, obviously because it's the 90s, but I like watching that over what they have now for kids.
Yeah.
Like I'm almost like happy that we had, like, even though it's super cheesy, I'm glad that we grew up with this kind of TV versus what kids are growing up now.
Well, it's a shame that Rangers is going away, they're not going to have, they're going to be able
to have animated.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Even animated is like weird nowadays. Even the animation style is weird.
I think it will look cool. I mean, like I also, it's also like a dynasty it's gone for so long, and there's honestly so much that it's almost too much for a kid if they were getting into it now. I think it's cool. I think it's kind of sorry. I don't know. I'm like searching for the right words, but I'm just glad that it's on Netflix because it seems like it's super accessible. Like any kid could watch any season of Power Rangers.
Totally.
So, Nina actually made me start watching on the kid version of Netflix so that our suggested shows aren't informed by all the Power Rangers I watch.
I actually do that too.
I should probably start doing that because all of a sudden it's gone from like horror movies to here's the next season of Power Rangers.
yeah. I don't want to watch Thomas the Tank Engine. Okay.
No,
I should probably start doing that.
I 100% get that. As soon as Power Rangers started coming up and recommended, my wife did the same thing. She's like, you gotta watch it in the kids section.
Oh, that's funny.
But what I was saying is, like, I get this guy, it's a Halloween theme, the dude's a pumpkin, like, I'll remember that villain. I don't remember what any of the 5 villains that the Rangers fought last week in their like quest in that board,
Well, it's interesting, like if you're even looking at like the Sentai they definitely don't have as distinct themes as they used to. You know, they're not adapting from episodes. Like in the more retro episodes of Sentai, it seemed like they had a more clear-cut focus with the design. Where now it seems like you get more of like the warrior style adversary that you would get as like a Goldar type. Like there's just like a bunch of people that are kind of more in that category as opposed to, you know, people with like a really distinct trait to them, even though you still get that. Like I still remember some distinct bad guys we've seen from modern ones that had like a cool like clown jester theme or something like that. But yeah, the pumpkin is super iconic. It definitely helps that it's a Halloween episode.
And it makes him very he's a bit more of an individual monster than you know, looking like like every other monster we ever watch.
It's also like part of it too that like the Mighty Morphin monsters have just been like more in our face than other seasons, so it's kind of hard to think about like if maybe we'd be more tipped off to like villains if they were presented as more iconic. But like like the most iconic ones I can think of are all from Mighty Morphin. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Cool.
This episode made me like the Pumpkin Rappers action figures coming out. I'm like, I'll get them now.
Now you have a newfound love for him.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna get them before, but now I'm like, you know.
Now you're gonna get all of them then. But, when they were all wrapped up, I had that same thought, like, oh, there it is. That's the moment we're gonna make. Like when like Pumpkin Rapper has them all grouped up, you know. But Mom, don't you get it? I need all 6 of them and Pumpkin Rapper to make the scene.
Well, you need like 2 Pumpkin Rappers because he comes with alternate heads, so you can put pumpkins on the Ranger heads. But he only comes with 2.
That would be funny.
You're right. He only comes with 2.
Yeah.
Man, well, you know, Photoshop.
Yeah.
Well,
so then it cuts to they defeat the guy. And then Bulk and Skull show up at school in the new Corvette.
But then it was a Mustang, and then they find out that
Doug,
they cheated. Sorry.
It was a red car.
Sorry, I like Mustangs. But then we find out that they were cheating, and Kimberly's standing right there. She technically won. She fainted, quote unquote, and could have been given the car, but she's not.
I want to know, did I miss something? How were they cheating? I don't even remember them cheating.
The cheating was very minimalistic. I think what they're alluding to is
when
Skull was Bulk was mouthing answers or questions to Skull.
Well, it's not a spelling bee, you know, like it's like, oh, I'm sorry.
We can't let Bulk and Skull have anything.
It's like, I watched Aquila and the Bee, and then I realized that you were mouthing in the audience. So you guys are disqualified. No, I'm just kidding.
I felt bad for Bulk and Skull. They never get it.
They should have just been able to keep the car.
They should have just driven off.
I think if people looked into it, you'd find out that no trick or treat contestant has been able to keep their prize. I'm sure it's been very
it's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, they always find a way.
Yeah.
But he's a mummy, so his wrap gets caught in the door when they drive away. He twists, and
he's pantsless.
Yeah.
Lol.
And we see boxers. Oh my goodness, my
gosh.
Yeah. We probably see Bulk's boxers like every other episode.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time. He probably got 2 pairs on, you know.
Yeah. And then Kim and Tommy just like laugh and walk away, and that's the end.
Yeah.
Pretty solid. Another pretty solid. But it felt like if I were to come up with a Power Ranger Halloween episode off the top of my head, like this is like exactly what I think of, you know.
Yeah.
Except for maybe there'd be more trick or treating in it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, it would be like last week. So, guess what time it is? It's nighttime. Let's go trick or treat.
Yay!
Yeah.
So,
I liked both of them, but I preferred the first one better.
Me too.
I liked Zeo.
Yeah, I think so too. This one, I think Zeo is a better episode. This one is more traditional Power Rangers, but I liked them both.
Yeah, they're both good.
Yeah,
I'm finding that I'm preferring a lot of Zeo.
Zeo's
like
good.
Every time we watch a Zeo episode, I'm like, yeah, I like this.
Yeah, Zio's good. Zio's a good season.
Yeah.
It deserves that credit.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right. Well, that was a spooky week.
Yeah. Have a safe Halloween, everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, did they still have like a week until Halloween?
Well, yeah. Well, if you're listening to this, the Halloween's coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So have a safe Halloween.
Make sure you plan ahead. Safe Halloween, guys.
If you see rotten pumpkins in a park, get rid of them.
Yeah.
Don't forget, free-range eggs for any house that doesn't give you candy.
Yeah.
No, don't tell them that.
Yeah.
That's not the Power Ranger thing to do.
You're right.
Yeah.
Just use the bulk white eggs. Use cheap eggs. Don't use good eggs. Caitlin's
Don't use toilet paper. We're in a pandemic.
Yeah.
Use the cheap toilet paper. Make them restock it. Make them restock the good stuff.
Yeah.
Someone's
Sweet.
gonna like comment and be like, "You taught my child bad manners."
Yeah.
Good. Send them my way. I'll talk to them.
Yeah. Next week, I don't know. In space, probably, or
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
We'll find out.
I want to watch the Zio episode where they go snowboarding sometime soon. I saw it when we were flipping through this season, and I was like, "This one looks interesting."
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Well, we'll save it for December.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with the snow.
Actually, before we go, after the pumpkin wrapper one, I just watched the next 2 episodes.
Uh-huh.
And there's a very funny one where Tommy decides he wants to make the football team.
Okay.
And he's like, I've never played football. I've only done karate. And they're like, Tommy, you'll be fine. Long story short, at the end of the episode, they're like, your new starting quarterback, Tommy.
Yeah.
No, of course. Freaking Tommy.
Right. Of course, because he's like, even though he's not an athlete, he's a superhero. I mean, even though he's not a football
Like as if he
player.
doesn't need anything else in his life. Now
Yeah,
he's the quarterback.
I just threw it like I would throw a ninja star, and I won the game.
Yeah.
It ties into Tommy, the Green Ranger. He throws the dragon dagger into the mouth of a big monster, like when he's small.
Cool.
And so he's like, oh, I can do it. And then he's the quarterback.
That's how I go into football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's way easier than what I just did.
Freaking Tommy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sweet. Until next week.
All right.
Less phenomenal.
It's
more phenomenal.
phenomenal.
More phenomenal.
Ooh.